Okay, let's into Quentin Tarantino's Jackie Brown.
Right. And, it's maybe not the first one that jumps to mind for everyone. Pulp Fiction,
Right.
Kill Bill,
Yeah,
they often get more of the spotlight.
exactly. But looking at the material we've gathered, Jackie Brown is actually, well, critical. It seems essential if you really want to understand Tarantino's evolution as a director.
And his deep, deep connection to film history, it's all there.
Yeah. The sources frame it as this key transitional moment for him.
hmm It still has that signature Tarantino feel, of course,
Yeah.
but it's different somehow.
So our mission here is really to unpack why this film matters so much.
Yeah.
Look at its unique style, where it came from, how it fits into his whole body of work and the impact it's had since.
Let's start with that style, then. He's known for mashing up genres.
Oh, yeah. Blaxploitation, crime thrillers,
Yeah.
maybe a little film noir in there. But the sources stress he doesn't just, copy them.
No, he remixes them, makes something totally new out of those familiar pieces.
And the dialogue. That's always huge with Tarantino.
Absolutely. It's not just about moving the plot forward. It's character, it's subtext. And in Jackie Brown, the material suggests it's still got that wordiness, but maybe a bit more grounded.
A little more reflective, maybe? Like those conversations between Jackie and Max Cherry.
Exactly. So much tension, so much connection, built almost entirely through just talking. It's brilliant.
Which kind of leads to the structure. It's not as famously jumbled as Pulp Fiction, but Jackie Brown definitely plays with time, too.
Right. You get flashbacks, different perspectives on the same event. And the sources argue it's not just him showing off his technique.
No, it serves a purpose here. Builds suspense, definitely.
Yeah.
But also helps you understand why people do what they do.
And that focus on character carries over into the look of the film. The sources describe it as really meticulously composed. Every shot feels deliberate.
And the music. Can't forget the soundtrack. That amazing 70s soul and funk.
Which isn't just background noise. It's often diegetic, meaning it's playing in the scene, maybe on a car radio or something.
Yeah, totally underscores the themes. That whole vibe of melancholy, maybe getting a late chance.
And speaking of themes, violence is always present in Tarantino, but here.
It feels different. The sources note it's more like this constant, low-level threat hanging in the air. Less about the big, bloody set pieces.
Yeah, it's more about the characters just trying to navigate this really dangerous world. And redemption, or maybe just getting that second chance, that seems key.
Which brings us straight to Pam Grier as Jackie Brown. She completely embodies that.
Totally. This smart, capable flight attendant caught in a really tight spot, just trying to survive and maybe, just maybe, build a better future. Her complexity is right at the center. The sources really hammer that home.
She is the core, no question.
And you can't talk Tarantino without mentioning intertextuality, all those references.
Right. Jackie Brown is based on Elmore Leonard's novel Rum Punch. That's a big one.
And casting Pam Grier, who is an icon of blaxploitation, has no accident.
Absolutely not. The sources frame it as this really deliberate, respectful homage. Bringing her back, putting her front and center again.
It connects to the bigger picture, too. This is late 90s post-Pulp Fiction mania.
Mm-hmm.
He could have done anything.
But he chooses to adapt Leonard. He chooses to cast Grier. It shows him honoring his influences, but also, deliberately shifting gears.
So the basic setup, for anyone who hasn't seen it, Jackie gets busted smuggling cash for this arms dealer, Ordell.
Right, and to save herself, it looks like she's going to help the feds nail him, but secretly.
She's playing her own game, planning to double-cross pretty much everyone, and she ropes in Max Cherry, the bail bondsman.
Yeah, played by Robert Forster. It's this fantastic multi-layered con.
And what the sources really underline is how significant this film is, because it shows Tarantino moving towards something more contained, more character-focused.
Yeah, compared to the kind of manic energy of Reservoir Dogs or Pulp Fiction, this one, it slows down, takes its time.
And that slower pace, the argument goes, is what lets you really connect with these characters, get inside their heads a bit more.
That relationship between Jackie and Max is it's the heart of the movie, isn't it?
Definitely. It's built on this really interesting mix of, complicity, maybe some attraction, but also genuine empathy.
Yeah, the sources talk about their quiet scenes, the looks they share. It feels surprisingly real, authentic.
And that focus reflects, I think, a real maturity in his filmmaking at that point. Maybe less about the flashy formal tricks.
And more about building these complex, believable people you actually care about. Jackie isn't just a badass. She's smart, sure, but also vulnerable.
And Max is decent, but kind of world-weary, They find this unexpected connection, this possibility.
And again, the sources highlight the clear tribute to film history,
Yeah.
exploitation.
Pam Grier, that soundtrack.
It's framed as him really acknowledging and celebrating a genre that had maybe been pushed to the margins.
And proving he could do more than just style. He could deliver a film with real emotional weight, real soul. So thinking about its legacy, Pulp Fiction might have changed how people thought about narrative structure.
Right. But Jackie Brown, its innovation was maybe more in how it treated genre respectfully, how deep it went with character, and how it championed actors.
Exactly. Bringing Pam Grier back in such a major role, that revitalized her career.
And Robert Forster getting that Oscar nomination for Max Cherry. Such a great moment for a respected character actor. The sources see this as key celebrating film history by celebrating its people.
Narratively, it brought this patience, this subtlety to his work. Taking time with relationships, you could argue that influenced later films, maybe like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Visually, too, it's still clearly Tarantino, but maybe a bit more restrained, serving the story and characters first.
Its legacy today really shows his range. He could adapt someone else's work, stay true to it, but still make it completely his own.
He made a crime film that genuinely makes you feel something, and that deep respect for actors just shines through. A lesson there, maybe, about thoughtful casting.
Now, the initial reaction, it was positive, generally, but it wasn't the cultural earthquake Pulp Fiction was.
No, some people found it slow. Slower than they expected from him, maybe.
But over time, as your sources make really clear, its reputation has just grown and grown.
Massively. It's often called one of his most underrated films now. People see it as revealing this deeper, more human side of his filmmaking.
Critics, fans, they've really come around to appreciating the smart adaptation, the dialogue, those incredible performances.
Its impact now is just its lasting quality, I think. Those themes, survival, second chances, finding a connection in unexpected places, they still hit home.
The characters feel so real. It just proves the genre films can tell profound human stories. That's a powerful legacy.
So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway for you? The sources really present Jackie Brown as this kind of hidden gem in Tarantino's work.
Yeah, showing a more mature filmmaker, someone really focused on character, but still loaded with his signature style, those deep nods to film history, especially bringing Pam Grier back in such an iconic way.
It proved his versatility, right? And his deep respect for genre, for history, for actors. And like the material shows, its standing has just soared over the years.
Absolutely, it's aged incredibly well.
So maybe a final thought for you listening. Think about how many films, maybe like Jackie Brown, don't get their full due right away. What gems might you be missing if you only focus on the big opening weekend buzz? And what amazing rewards can come from digging a little deeper, revisiting films, or discovering those that find their acclaim over time?